Good morning. When I make this video, um, my name is Jakara. I am an energy healer, and I woke up today feeling the need to do some energy work. Also, I clicked on like a video that was trying to call me out in regards to something that I'm working on, and I must actively also do energy work. Now, it's not a bad thing. I've already been in the state of reflecting. I've already processed as much as I'm probably going to be able to process without taking some other steps. All right. So this is going to be a collective energy heal. Keywords for if this like resonates with you are going to be shadow. I felt that because I wanted to do this work on a different colored paper when I used to do it on very light paper, and I'm still using pencil, so it doesn't really show up. It's kind of very dark. Not wanting to be seen, hidden. Truth, repetition, opportunities, and then under the one under the deck is triggers, and then just now emergence, which I found interesting because emergence is the last word, but shadow being the first. So if it's connecting for you, this is going to be for you. I also want to acknowledge that the way that everything is connected. So I do try to pay attention to as much sensory smells and just different things around me. Even if I don't call them out, they have a part to play. When I laid the cards out, the 3 cards for opportunity, repetition, and truth, they decided to lay out in a diagonal, which is not the usual way that I lay them out. So it's something I noticed. And it goes opportunities, truth, repetition. And I felt that was significant, the way that it was diagonal and the way that they decided to come out laid down, even though they didn't come out like that when I shuffled. All right. I don't really know, but I'm getting right in the middle of the third eye. If I was turning, this is going to be your right side and this is going to be your left side. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it as true to form, even though this is reflected differently. I'm getting left side. So we're back in here, left side here. That's okay. Right here at the shoulder area, like right here. It's giving left side of your body. I wondered why. I drew like this little paper helps me to so I can just trace. And I wondered why I did it reverse, because I usually trace it on one particular side. And it's interesting because obviously I'm not great, but it makes a little hip basically in the way that I cut it out, and the hip would have been on the right side if I would have done it that way, but it looks like it's on the left. So it would be on your left side and this little hip area. Okay, you pause. So it's looking like it's the left side of the body. Yeah, it's looking like it's the left side of the body, and there are a lot of points. They're even like I'm being called to even pull out a point within the leg. I don't know why, because I don't know like the body that well, but I'm getting femur. But I don't know where the femur is. But in this alignment of the body, it's giving like this area. Now, the leg on this body is very shorter than the actual leg, but it's giving the sense that it's in this upper area. Yeah, I know it's giving that it's this, but I don't know where the femur is. So, but it's giving femur. And it's not a circle, it's just straight line. So yeah, dealing with that bone. I don't know if someone fractured it or had some kind of accident. Oh, like I'm even rubbing it now because energetically I'm feeling it. It might act up during particular weathers. I know knees do, but this femur is giving like, it's giving not just weather, it's giving consistent pain or maybe just uncomfortableness on a consistent basis. All right, I'm gonna have to do that first because I can't stop rubbing that part of my leg. So that's just gonna play out. The energy is gonna play out the way that it's gonna play out. All right, it's softened up a bit. Still there. I'm doing this kind of forward and backward motion because while I'm talking, I'm actively already started the energy work on this space. All right, can I breathe? Can I dig into it? I know energetically I feel things a lot, so I naturally move with what I feel even when I don't recognize it, which leaves me. I'm honoring it. Before, it's crazy because you don't understand what that was like to just go outside and all of a sudden have sensories overloads of just different people, and they don't have to be close to me. So we're gonna just work through this energy because it's forthcoming. And then once I'm done with this, then I can move on to the next step. I've seen like a feather. It's giving peacock because I have one, but it's giving feather and wanting to take a feather and rub it in that area. So energetically, a feather. Yeah. Very. It's giving you probably an accident or it broke, fractured. Keep like more fractured is more suitable. Yeah, like even trying to push the energetic feather, which is probably why I needed a 3D one. One moment, please. All right. Whoever you are, were you in an accident? Because as I was walking around trying to find my feather, all of a sudden I just have automatic pain in this area, in the hip area on my left side. And I'm like, okay, I'm just in the energy. That's fine. I can't find a real feather, but I remember but I remembered that I have a deck for birds and they have feathers. So that's even better because we can use what fits. Now I found it very interesting, but also not surprising that peacock feather. So we're gonna leave that out. But if there's another feather, one that I can use to help add energy to, thank you. What kind of feather do you think that is? White eagle. Interesting. Well, we are going to use the white eagle feather to help, and I can already feel the energy moving far easier than what I had before. 100%, far easier. The energy's already moving. And that's the way energy works. Energy isn't necessarily time connected, meaning that even though it's taking me 5 minutes to work that, but once I've already placed it, once the energy is already in flow and consciously connected, especially with what you're trying to do energetically, it pushes and moves it immediately. Sometimes it can be very quick, but a lot of the time, because we're putting a conscious part of our minds on this, we do need to play the role and have it out. But the active energy, whereas if I stop feathering or not, we'll continue to feather if that is what I so choose. But I can already feel that it shifted and moved that energy. So I'm gonna, what does this white feather, it kicked out of my hand, so we're gonna switch feathers. The connection to divine guidance is within you. Don't want to continue with this white feather. Now, I'm not sure why the energy was so sticky. Usually when we have traumatic experiences, that does kind of go hand in hand. You tend to have sticky energy that doesn't want to leave depending on how long the accident was. It's giving that you probably were in an accident. And you hurt yourself pretty much on your left side because it's giving your neck, it's giving shoulder, it's giving hip, and then femur, it's giving you fell in a particular way that would crank the neck. You would land here and here, so either like a roll, and then I'm unsure. Now I will say though, everything is hitting on your left side. It is. But where I'm feeling the femur situation is on my right. I will acknowledge that. But on my paper, I still wrote it on the left. So I am unsure what that means. even trying to write it on the form. So this just helps me to connect with the energetic body collectively. So even trying to write it, it won't let me. I had to erase it. It's left side only for this collective, but I'm doing it on my right side, so that holds some value. I'm just not sure what value that holds to you. And I still feel it. So now we're going to do peacock. Dun, 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 what is it? Back, patty, back, give a duck about. This old man came running home. Unsure what that really means, but this song is in my head. I can't really stop until it does. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Playful, very mature. I don't want to say that, and I don't want to put that out there, but someone could have gotten into an accident with their child. But that's probably for one. No judgment on how many it does or does not apply to. It doesn't matter to me. We are energy healing. But if that happened, my heart goes out to you, and in the most ways that it can. All right, Spirit, I ask that you actively work on this energy so that I can move into other spaces, simply because I cannot. That's not true. I can't. I don't want to continue only focusing on this. Is that okay? Or do I need to learn how to just stay in the energy for as long as it takes? Spirit said they want me to learn how to move the energy and work with the energy in whatever way works for me. And if I feel like I've done enough and need to leave it to just my energetic body to do the rest, then I can, or I can stay in here. But I'm working, I'm practicing, so we're going to stay in here. The only reason I want to rush is simply because I feel like the video would be too long. And I'm ready to move on. Coming to the conclusion and understanding that I don't want to do that. If the video is long, then it's long. And if it takes me 20 minutes just to do one area, then that's just how long it took. It's not like I am now coming into the stage where I'm actively using my skill set. So I can't get mad at myself if it takes me longer. It's okay if I'm not immediate. Some energy I'm immediately able to get rid of and change. And in this case, and in this format, that's not the case. So either you or I needed to work through that energy and allow the time to either heal, work through, go through the process of whatever it needs, and do it so gratefully. I'm grateful. Trust. I love energy work. I love it with a passion that I don't want to say others will not understand, but in my current life, it's with a passion that most won't understand, and that's okay. So I'm still gonna rub through it, but now we're gonna see if we can move on. So your hip. All right, let's do the hip. See, I'm telling you, I don't know what this right leg is, but everything is on the left. And even though I'm working on the right, with this kind of femur type energy, do understand that it's also working in both areas. It's just for some reason physically, it's on the right. It's trippy. All right, hip. Now, when I circled it, it felt like it was kind of right here on the hip bone, like that rounded part of the hip bone. But when I was walking, it was more in the back. So the area in general is going to be your hip. Where exactly that pain is for you could be different. But someone, when they walk, it's in this area, and some it's kind of in this forward. I'm kind of giving like pelvic flex type of hip area. Obviously not your pelvic, but in this area. All right. All right, so going into the energy of the hip, one, the energy in this area is slower. I can tell by the fact that the way that I wanted to talk is very sluggish, like I'm having to step through kind of mud and slowly put my foot out. But trying to rush that will not change it. While I was also in there, even though I don't think it's part of it, my Achilles heel started to ache. I don't think that I need to adjust that energy per se, but just acknowledging what it was. So go into the energy, and it looked like an altar of some sort, like some sacrificial type of thing. Now, it was shown as a light body, meaning that I didn't see anything dangerous, nothing energetically that made me feel that it was gross or yucky. It was just the first start of it. It was like a ball on top and then a long kind of slab with a bottom piece kind of holding it to the ground. And it was giving a movie I had seen, so not necessarily that it was some sacrificial altar, but just that I've seen it before. And that was the way that it referenced to me so that I could visually understand. Then after that kind of passes by, it's a light body, so it just passes by. Then there's a sword. It's a light sword. And I was like, communication, cutthroat, still not quite sure what that is usually. But now I'm working in the energy. As you're going in, the hip energy is like this swirled kind of, it's not knotted, but all of a sudden I want to say knotted. My tongue also wants to feel more, my tongue also wants to twist itself in a knot. So it's like this spiral type of energy. And within this spiral now, I'm seeing like different holes or gaps as I'm talking. So we are going to address those gaps. I'm going to use light language script to fill in those gaps and remove. Do you have someone in your ear that like, or in your life that kind of doubts you a lot? The reason why I say so is because while I'm doing this, I'm hearing like, you can't do it. This is going to take a really long time. You're going to have to take years trying to do this. Are you sure you want to do this? So either someone was in your ear prior or after the situation. Unsure how that applies, just telling you that it applies. You're doing great. I understand that watching a healing video, it requires a little bit of trust. I need you to trust in this process, but also trust yourself. You know what's right for you, know what's good for you. Sometimes we can feel a reaction to not want to watch it. And sometimes it's because we need to watch it. And sometimes we have a reaction not to want to watch it because it doesn't align with us. I'm telling you to trust in this process. Spirit, like, you need to trust in this process. This is true. This is true. I love snakes. So whenever I see them, I do try to wonder whether or not they're for me or for you, because when I say that, I mean that. Now, that's energetic snakes. Okay? Real snakes, I'm going to be scared of. But energetic snakes, all day. As soon as I said that, energetically, my favorite. He's a giant snake. Huge. Like, this isn't even cover his head at all. A huge snake. Hold on. He's like, his head is on mine. I know. Okay. Anyways, there's a snake. It's curled up. It's very small, and it's placed in your hip. Now, I am unsure if that is just because I have a lot of energetic snakes around me, or you yourself has one that's right there. Now, there's no need to move it to do it. It's not affecting anything. It's just more of an acknowledgement to whoever needed that. I won't lie, this energy is, no was, because we're shifting. We're shifting. Shift. Um, we're shifting this energy, but this energy was very sticky, which is why I really do think that this happened because of an accident. It's refusing to let me believe anything other. Now, could have other, like, what accident, fell off a bike, skateboarding, jumped off a roof, airplane, I'm getting, how the accident happened is going to be completely different, but it's an accident nonetheless, and it's just giving the left side of the body all fucked up. But I'm now moved away from the hip. The hip originally, it feels better, but I'm getting it's going to be another round. And I'm starting to worry about the time again, about it being 20 minutes, and I've only addressed 2 parts. And I'd rather not do a 40-minute video, and my phone can't handle 40 minutes. So I don't want it to cut off in a weird spot. Let me look into the hip real quick. So currently right now, the femur is being mended. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing golden strands, and it's a slow process, but it's being mended slowly. I'll come back to that. The hip, on the other hand, feels comfortable. It feels comfortable. It doesn't feel better. Even when I was walking to find the feather, Spirit did say that it's not on me to fix everything, meaning that, and I was like, well, there are some healers that can, and they're like, well, that's not your job, that's not your duty. So sometimes just making it better or an improvement or comfortable is just as important to quick healing, quick fixing, because that may not be what this person thinks, like not my place or your place in life to fix or heal, but to whatever steps are necessary. I don't know. Just acknowledging that your hip feels better. The energy of the hip feels better, but not fully addressed. So I'm probably going to do another round and see if I can make that even better. But currently it's giving okay. And that snake is starting to shift. I can see it moving now. Mindy, yes, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm getting good vibes. So femur, hip, shoulder. I didn't get it wrong, did I? Because I was on this side looking at you, and I did here, 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 but on the paper it's left side. So I don't know. Make sure I didn't do it wrong, because I even wrote right and left. And listen, look, trust in myself. If I wrote left and it is left, then I'm working left. And the fact that my hip was on the left and I felt it so, right. So continue your card. Don't be afraid. All right. So shoulder here. It's giving this. It's giving all the way. Okay, I have to let my shoulder down a little bit. Does someone get massages or need a massage in this area? It's very tense, very tight. I'm currently massaging myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, doing these energy healings be getting my body right, because I got a massage. I transmute energy through my physical body. So both. So massaging is good for me and good for your energy. I feel like out of all the parts, this part probably gets addressed. Meaning someone either does massage it or they stretch it. There's something about something being done, because out of all the spots, this spot feels the lightest energetically. Meaning that it's probably more addressed more frequently. But I'm getting like shoulder right here, I'm telling you, an accident where you fell. But I'm just... I'm getting the worst chiropractor. Even before that, I had gotten masseuse. Not sure how that applies, but just acknowledging. I'm trying to see if I can now look into the energy here. Does someone have a tattoo in this area? Or a long scar? So I get this need to draw kind of like a stitched up type of scar. And inside, when I look at the shoulder right here, it's giving like gold, which is interesting because gold for me is usually a very like healing. I use pretty much gold energy to help with most things as protection, but also for like healing. But it's giving like a chunk of gold, just kind of very heavy and weighted. Maybe, I don't know if that's such thing as like some type of like metal shoulder or something. I don't know, but very metal. And it's not necessarily putting off a bad energy, but it's not a great one. It's not. Yeah. Tighten. Well, for me to address that, so visually there's like this red kind of orangish wall, so to speak. It's not really a wall, but I would need to break through that. And again, because of time, I'm worried about doing that, so I can't give my all to that. So the next time I go, because I will do a second layer or a second round of energy healing. And it's okay that energy healing is not one time. Energy healing can be one time, but that's not necessarily how energy works, especially if there are underlying things that need to be addressed. And if you haven't addressed what those traumas were, how they affected you, and what they have done to your life, and how you have been reflecting that, then sometimes etheric energy healing can only mask something and not correct it in its entirety. And that's because in the phase and just the energy that I align with, it is spiritual and physical. You have to be able to address the physical as well as the spiritual. That's how it works. To heal this side also has to be addressed and start working. To heal this side. As an example, my external internal are reflective. How my external is reflected is how my internal is showing up, whether I recognize it or not. And so far I've been pretty clean. I've been doing pretty good. And that's after not doing great at all. But recently I realized that things are starting to build up. But because I've been doing this for a while and I recognize my external, internal, I understand what it means when my living room is messy, kitchen, bathroom, room. What's messy? Is it just a floor with trash? Is it clothes? Very subtle details that make a difference to help me understand what the problem is. I noticed as walking to today to do the collective reading that my space is getting really janky and messy, and that's okay, because just as today I'm doing collective energy healings, and when I do them for you, it's also working with me in some ways. And I realized that from that point to this point, it means that when I was doing this collective energy healing, certain things were shaking up internally that maybe I didn't realize, maybe things that I don't have to consciously address. They're not necessary, but they show up externally. And through that shakeup, my external then reflected that shakeup. And all I have to do now is address externally. And through addressing it externally, I will be addressing internally the things that didn't need my conscious attention. Does that make sense? I'll say this often because it's the truth. The next one is here and here, but I'm getting right now, because even just the way that I'm flowing and moving with this energy, that I'm going to sit with this a bit longer, because I really think you're in an accident, because the back of my neck is starting to stress out here, like in this area. My Achilles heel on my left is starting to stress out. I'm feeling kind of achy, even if I, to be honest with you, consciously I don't feel it, but energetically I feel achy energy around me, and it's all on this left. And even the fact that I was messing with my wrist at one point, it shows that whoever this collective energy is aligning with, it is people who have had accidents and pain regarding their left. Now, not every point is for you. I'm just acknowledging that this collective energy is left side injuries. And I need a little bit more time to sit with the energy and meditate before I continue the energy work. And that's just being honest with myself and you. Alrighty. My name is Jakara. I am an energy healer, and I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to do this energy work with you. It matters. It matters, and it matters to me that you allowed me to be with you on this journey. I am so grateful. It makes me the happiest because I love energy work with a passion.